Hey friends! So I recently released a TikTok video sublimating on this notebook and got asked for a tutorial. So I went to Dollar Tree and picked up a couple more glitter notebooks. I'm going to do sublimation with one, but I'm also going to try the Infusible inks by Cricut to see how well they work on the glitter notebooks. And just for kicks, I also picked up one notebook with no glitter on the cover to see if either will work on a plain, regular notebook. So if you want to see how they turn out, keep watching. Alright, so the first design that I'm going to make is going to be for the Infusible ink. So first thing that I do is look at the back of the notebook to get the measurements right here. So my notebook is 10.5 inches tall by 8 inches wide. So I am going to make a rectangle here in Design Space, that size, just so I know how big everything can be. Alright, so now I have my rectangle. I'm just going to go ahead and add my design. Okay, so this is a super simple design to do with the Infusible inks. The little hearts, though, are going to be cut out of either the cheetah or the zebra print. I haven't quite decided yet. So I'm just going to hide my rectangle and hit make it. Now, because I am using Infusible inks, I will have to mirror both of my colors. And I'm going to use the Infusible ink transfer sheet cut setting. With Infusible inks, you go ahead and put the color side facing up. And we're going with cheetah print. Now I'm just going to weed out these infusibles. You should be able to just crack it. I'm not sure how well mine's gonna weed though, because it seems like my Cricut cut too deep. Never actually had that happen before. So you just crack it. Then I normally just bend it kind of at the corner and try to peel up this part. Then you can just peel it off. Just like that. So I'm going to use this blue notebook with this design because these colors don't really go with the green. I'm going to add just a little bit of painter's tape to try to hold it down better. If you use this, try not to get too much on the inside cover because when you peel it off, it will peel off your cover. I learned the hard way. Alright, looks good to me. Now, let's make a sublimation design. Alright, so for my sublimation design, I'm actually going to be using Silhouette Studio. I will not need my Cricut to cut anything, and I can print bigger in Silhouette Studio. So I'm just going to upload my image, and I'm just going to resize it. This one has a huge white border. Alright, I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and print that with my sublimation printer. I am going to have it mirror it. Okay, so for the design on the notebook with no glitter, I'm in Design Space to make a combination of Infusible ink design as well as sublimation. So I will be using both. Looks good to me, so I'm just going to remove my square and hit make it. Same thing as before, I'm going to mirror both. I'm going to turn off the bleed and use the systems dialog so that I can use the better print settings on my sublimation printer. I don't have to mirror it because I already mirrored it through Design Space, and print. And I'm not actually going to have the Cricut cut that circle out, so I'm just going to skip the cut part on that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Crash Bandicoot part and have it cut in the Infusible ink transfer sheet setting. Okay, so while I wait for the last design, I'm going to cut and tape this to my next notebook. Looks good, so I'm just going to tape it down. That one's ready. Now I'm just going to weed this one while I wait for the print. I really hope this Infusible ink works because I have so much of it from before I had my sublimation printer. Okay, now just time to cut out the Crash Bandicoot. I'm a little worried about taping on this cover because it doesn't have that kind of plastic coating to it. So I'm worried that it's like going to peel off when I peel it up. Just like that. Okay, ready to go. I'm going to be using my Cricut Easy Press for these. I'm going to preheat this to 400 degrees and I will press all of them for 50 seconds. Okay, it's all preheated and ready to go. So I'm going to start with Crash Bandicoot. I have a cutting board down here so I can apply some extra pressure to it. And I'm just going to cover it with a piece of copy paper. And here we go. Alright, that one has been pressed. So, on to the next. Alright, so that one's done. On to the next. Alright, they're all good to go. So let's start seeing what they look like. So this blue one here is Infusible only. Okay, next one is the green glitter Sublimation only. Now the wild card, Sublimation and Infusible on a non-glitter notebook. Well, that looks really good. Okay, what I was worried about is happening. When I peel the painter's tape off, it's starting to peel the color of the notebook. And here is all three of them. So I'll start with the Infusible one first. You can see there are some really cloudy spots towards the bottom. That could simply be my easy press because the top part came out super bright and super clear. Overall, I think it looks great. So I would definitely try the Infusible ink again, but I'm gonna try it with my heat press. The Sublimation one came out exactly as expected. The colors are bright and vibrant, and it looks wonderful. This one surprised the heck out of me. The Infusible looks great. It looks nice and clear. Same with the Sublimation. The colors are bright and vibrant. The only thing was I used painter's tape and it started peeling up parts of the cover. So maybe next time I will try heat resistant tape instead. But overall, they all look wonderful and I'm super happy with them.